Hi, Dan. It's good to see you again. How have things been since we spoke last?
Yeah, okay, I guess. Probably not as good as the last two times. It was just a tough week or so. But I mostly kept on top of things.
All right. It sounds like there has been some challenges, but you've managed to use some strategies to keep on top of your gambling goals. That's a great step to have managed that, Dan. I'll be keen to explore more of that in a moment. Would it help, though, if we started by talking about some of those tough things you mentioned?
Yeah, just work's been cutting back a bit, so things are pretty tight at the moment. And the ex, she's hassling me for money. I can't get a break from her. She winds me up about payments for the kids. Sometimes I just lose it.
Your ex-partner, and that's Chris?
Yes, Chris.
I know you spoke a bit about Chris the last time we met. If it's all right, I'll be keen to hear a bit more about what's happening now for you both. I understand you've been separated for a year. How are the pickups and drop-offs with the kids going?
Well, last week she asked me about the payments. How does she expect me to react when I'm already tight for money? Anyway, I probably yelled a bit more than I should have. So she drove off with the kids. I tried to keep calling her, but she blocked me.
So you wanted to keep talking or yelling about it, and that's why you kept calling Chris? But she blocked you. What did you do when you couldn't reach her?
I got in the car, drove around a bit. She usually unblocks me again, eventually.
Okay. We can talk about how you manage yourself in these situations a bit more later. First, it would be good to get a sense of what you think was happening for Chris to block you. It sounds like blocking and unblocking your calls has happened before.
Yeah, pretty regularly.
Is that every week, every fortnight, or every month?
Oh, every couple of weeks at handover there's something. It's getting worse. I lose it quicker now.
What do you think happens for Angie and Mac when you lose it and start yelling?
They're used to it. They're fine in the car.
Going back to the handover, you were saying it's getting worse, and you're at the point of yelling pretty quickly. Can you tell me more about that?
It's been so frustrating lately. So she has issues with her mental health, things that happened as a kid. None of the services understood what she was like.
So you and Chris previously had services supporting you.
That's why we split up. Child protection. You wouldn't believe it. She's the one that needs to see a psych, and they ask me all the questions. So I threw some stuff around when it got too much, but no one got hurt. I didn't hit anyone. Dad's always getting the blame. Nobody asks what Chris was doing to wind me up.
Well, then I can hear that you didn't agree with child protection getting involved. It is their role, though, to make sure that the children are safe and cared for. I know you've said nobody was hurt. I wonder still, as a child, what watching you would have felt like. So I am curious to hear if child protection gave you any support.
I'm not interested in anything from them. I don't need to be told how to parent. I just need to focus on keeping on top of money and work.
Before we finish, I wanted to check on something that you mentioned at the start of the appointment about work being cut back. Are you linked into any services that are helping you find more permanent work?
No, just checking on my own.
Have you spoken to anyone at Centrelink about what you might be eligible for in the meantime?
I called once, but I've got that one covered.
In the last few sessions with Dan, I've observed a range of narratives and behaviors from him that indicates family violence risk. Dan is really minimizing his behaviors and the impact on both Chris and the kids. I'd like to speak with some other services to get more information to help manage the risk.
So go ahead and make a family violence information sharing request, and let's see if we can get a fuller picture of his patterns of behaviour for our own ongoing risk assessment and risk management. And we'll look at getting you a secondary consultation too. A family violence service can support you in your assessment and your risk management with Dan.